Shift the way you lead, the way you live. Clarity, courage, change. Because your next level won't wait. This is Monday Mindshift, the clarity you've been craving, the shift you didn't know you needed. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Monday Mindshift. Let me hide this. Excited to be here, and our topic today, I had a lot of fun on Leslie's show earlier. Really enjoyed doing that. Grateful to be invited to speak on Mind Over Matter and share knowledge and wisdom with a wider audience and meeting new faces and connections. So if you're here, thank you for being here, whether you're here on Team Live, Team Replay, you're appreciated. I'm grateful for you being here and hope you're having a great first day of the week. All right. So, our topic today, the mirror is not the enemy. What you judge in others reveals in you. We talked a little bit about this on Mind Over Matter, or I did, how others are mirrors of us. And when we're projecting onto others, it's actually our subconscious asking to be seen. All right, so let me get to our slides. And this morning was kind of crazy busy, so I almost didn't have slides, to be honest. But I also missed some preparation steps. All right. So, to start, most of what we call judgment has nothing to do with other people at all. It's actually our own reflection. And hi, Lay and Kenneth, thank you for joining us. Appreciate you. Glad to have you here. I'm feeling kind of special because Kenneth's been here every week for the last several weeks, and I think he's still working. So thank you, Kenneth. But as I was saying, most of what we call judgment has nothing to do with the other person. It's our own reflection showing up through their behavior. Today, I want to explore projection and how our reactions reveal unfinished, unprocessed business in ourself. How we can use judgment when we notice it as self-awareness, self-information, to use it as a mirror rather than fighting it. My slides, right? What if I love the question on the page here. What if your strongest reactions weren't character flaws, but an invitation? A way to go deeper and understand yourself more. Carl Jung says it this way: everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. Right? And this isn't about blame. This is about taking radical ownership of our internal world. Because when we stop fighting the mirror, we can actually start using it to our benefit, right? To elevate ourselves to a new level. So projection has three faces, right? It's there, it's hiding the part of you that your ego doesn't want to own. It comes up in three common ways. The first is shadow protection. You're disowning that part of you. If you say they're arrogant, maybe it's your own disowned confidence or similar. The other is wound protection. This is reacting from your pain. You say, they're ignoring me. Maybe it's an echo of old abandonment wounds. And the aspirational projection. When you're feeling envy towards somebody else's quality, they're there in you and they want to express, but you're not expressing them. You say, they're so free because you want to be free. So it's about a strong emotional charge. This is how you're checking. If you feel a strong emotional charge that doesn't fit the situation, or you feel this repetitive irritation with that type of person, this is the symptom check that you're projecting. Sharon, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Or, that person you dislike them, but oddly enough, they kind of resemble a younger or unexpressed version of you. Think of it this way. Whatever is triggering you, it can be your trigger or it can be your teacher. If you're paying attention, if you acknowledge like, oh, okay, I feel triggered here. What do I need to learn? What part of myself do I need to embrace? Do I need to step into? All right, moving on. When did it happen? How did this start? Why is the reflection distorted in our mirror? I want you to think back to a time where you learned that certain traits you had were unsafe. Maybe it was being loud, needy, confident, emotional, whatever. But think about, when did you decide it was better to hide that part? And I've got some journal prompts on the next slide, right? How did you adapt yourself to survive? And does that still serve you? If it doesn't, then it's time to look deeper at those exiled parts, right? The parts that are showing up in our projections on others. Yes, Lay. It does have a lot to do with patience for another's behavior. But I think when we look at their behavior, their actions, their personality, their attitude, the part that irritates us, and instead of going, he's so annoying, question, right? What is it in me that isn't expressed? Is it that I'm not owning, that I'm not embracing, that bothers me, right? It, like we're talking about on Mind Over Matter with emotion, it's a signal. It's trying to tell us something. So It's more about patience with yourself, right? When we look at people from a perspective that instead of looking at it like, oh, why does he do that? Like, it's so annoying. I don't understand why he does that. Instead of that, turn the mirror and look, okay, what is it in me that this is pushing a button for? Why does that bother me so much? So I was wrong. I thought these journal prompts were on the slides because I know that the next one, the journal prompts, and I'll put these in the comments. The traits I was taught to hide or judge were. So take time, write this out, even just talk about it with yourself, right? What are the traits that you learned to hide or judge as non-desirable? Who modeled that judgment? Was it a teacher? Was it a parent? Was it someone else in your life that kind of showed you that you need to don't express that? How have you been projecting those traits on others since? Think of it this way: what you suppress in yourself, you condemn in others. And this is one thing I've learned in my own walk. And then I'm trying to teach my son that all the things that I was taught that I should suppress, or I kind of learned, because sometimes it's not that we're taught, right? I grew up in the area of children should be seen, not heard. It's ridiculous, but it was the era I grew up in. And so I learned, I adapted certain behaviors. I'm teaching my son today that any reaction, the emotion, the behavior, it's not that the behavior is wrong, it's about learning the context, right? Acting wild and crazy at the shopping mall in a shop that everything's closed and there's lots of breakables, not a good place. But out in an open field, go wild, have fun, do what you want to do. So it's a lot of it's about context, right? Anger is normally seen as a negative behavior, a negative emotion. Is it? It's not that it's negative, it's how we express it, right? Anger can be power, right? Imagine you're angry about a situation in your community, and that anger drives you to do something to resolve it. That's positive, right? That anger is the fire, the passion that gets you to change it. The negative side is you don't express it correctly. You react, as we talked about in Mind Over Matter. All right. Why does it even happen? Why do we project? Well, science says it's ego protection. Our psyche wants to preserve our self-image by externalizing those traits. Freud called it the defense mechanism. Jung called it shadow work. According to neuroscience, our brain shortcuts complexity. It assumes that they should think and feel like us, right? Emotional mirroring. And then we bring in vagus nerve and polyvagal theory, which when threat detection activates, it turns on projection so that we can regain control of the emotional discomfort. It's just your nervous system's attempt to regulate the emotion by relocating it, right? Instead of shining the spotlight on me, I don't want to do that. Shine it on them. They're rude. They're whatever. And as Brene Brown says it, blame is the way to discharge pain and discomfort. Time and a place for everything. And yes, see and not heard is it's about the adults, not the children. Oh, I love that, Sharon. Model excellence, not mediocrity. Yes, and Lay says anger can be a motivator for certain. Yeah, it definitely can. Any emotion can move us in the right direction if we learn to expand our capacity and feel the emotion and then take the pause, as we talked about earlier, to reset our system so that we can make rational decisions, right? So we can respond rather than react. It's an old quote I love. I've heard it hundreds of times. I've said it myself. Life is 10% what happens to me and 90% how I choose to respond to it. All right. So what do we do? How do we fix it? My first practice today, the mirror moment. When you're feeling that judgment, take a pause. Inquire, right? What are you feeling? Notice it. I feel this when they do that. I can't stand when they say it or do that, right? We're not trying to push it away. We're not trying to justify their actions, their thoughts, their words. We're just noticing that emotional charge, right? How powerful, how strong is my emotional reaction to it? Then we can name the trait. Flip it. Where do I do that? Where do I deny that? Where do I desire that? Take a deep breath and own it. This is about me. It's not about them. When you take the mirror personally, it punishes you. When you take it symbolically, like mirrors are meant, the person you see in the mirror is not you, but here it is. Right? The mirror shows us when it's clean and not distorted. We're not talking funhouse mirrors here, right? We're talking a good mirror. We can use it to say, oh, my hair is out of place, or, oh, I should probably shave, or, right? We use it as a tool to notice what we need to change. We take ownership. When we do that, it brings freedom. Because now I'm in control of me, right? Their actions, their words, their thoughts, they're not controlling me. I'm in control. And Tracy, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining. All right. Imagine this. You look into a mirror, you hate what you see. But you're oblivious to the fact that the mirror is dirty, not your face. You could spend hours and years and decades trying to fix you instead of just cleaning the mirror. Right? We do it with our real mirrors. We can do it with our outer world too. See through the mirror clearly. Clean it if it needs to be cleaned. so that you're seeing a clear reflection that you can take ownership of. What mirror have you been blaming instead of cleaning? And when you're looking in this mirror, you can actually imagine yourself gently wiping away the fog. Like we've all had that, you try to use the mirror after a shower and it's all fogged. What do you try to use the mirror like that? No, we wipe it. So we can do this with our life, with ourself. Clean the mirror so we can see our reflection without the distortion. All right. The famous two-chair reflection, the two-chair practice, right? One chair is your conscious self. The other chair is your shadow self. Conscious self, I'm tired of being triggered by everyone. Your shadow side says, I'm not everyone. I'm the part that you don't want to own. And I want to come home. So from the conscious self side, you can simply ask, what do you want me to see? What are you protecting me from? What would happen if I embraced you instead of exiling you? Right? As always with the two-chair dialogue, we're not shaming, we're not exiling that side of us. We're learning to integrate both sides, right? To own our shadow side, to realize that it's there for a purpose, to be willing to look closely at the mirror and not be controlled by it. Then you can reclaim all that energy that you used up judging, projecting, and defending. What would you do with extra energy? Can you imagine it? Our third practice, reclamation ritual. That energy behind the judgment can actually become our fuel for authenticity. So here's an exercise. Get out a sheet of paper, a notebook, whatever. Write down what is a trait you most often judge in others. They're too demanding, they're too lazy, they're too emotional, they're too wild. Whatever it is, just write it out. Don't filter, just write it out. And then below that, write it out reframed. Where could I use a little bit more of that energy in my own life? And then turn that into an affirmation. It's safe for me to be more demanding, to take some more downtime, right? Often we're saying, oh, they're being lazy. Like, while we're running around like a chicken with our head cut off because we don't take a break. We don't slow down and breathe and look at this, right? We just keep running. I love Rumi. Anybody who's been here enough knows that I love Rumi. He says, the wound is the place where the light enters. Right? It's the crack in our armor. So let the wound be the doorway to let the light in, to let new energy, new awareness enter. All right, so here's your takeaway, your reflection. The trait I've been judging is, and write it out. And what it's trying to show me is. So look at it, explore it. What is that thing you most often judge in others? And what is it showing you about you? About the parts of you you've suppressed or hidden or adapted around, you've transformed because you learned you couldn't have it. You adopted. So here's a 7-day experiment. Over the next week, when you feel triggered, take a pause and ask, what part of me is being mirrored right now? Take some time to journal it. Record yourself a voice note. Put a note in your phone notes. Write it out somewhere. Doesn't matter, but get it down, process it. What is the part of this? Why is that triggering me? What is it mirroring for me? Awareness is the beginning of healing. Awareness is the beginning of growth. Awareness is the beginning of anything. James Baldwin says, not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it's faced. The mirror is not an enemy. It's a map. Every reflection is a request to you to integrate part of yourself. And when you stop fighting what you see, you can finally become the seer, the one who's seeing it for what it really is. Instead of projecting it, you can actually observe what's going on. All right. My last slide. I'm kind of sad Meryl didn't make it, but I also didn't send invites until early this morning. So I'm thrilled for the people that are here. I'm grateful. It's been a crazy week and I dropped the ball. All right. So if this hit some deep part of you and you realized, hey, these triggers are just signals of the truth, right? Commit to yourself that it's time to turn awareness into mastery. November 11th, I'm beginning the beta cohort of Real Mastery Intensive. It's a transformative 6-week identity reframe for people and leaders who are ready to move from reaction and triggers to creation. It's about going deep, rewriting your habits, rewriting the scripts that are keeping you trapped in old patterns, in those reaction loops. Being able to see others clearly, but not you. Right? This is about really seeing you and mastering your inner world. It's a space to transform, to bring that reflection and your inner world into alignment, to have more confidence, to lead or move from solid ground. And since it's a beta, it's more flexible and you'll actually help shape it before it's released to the public. So if you want to know more, you say, I'm ready, okay, I'm done, I want to do this, message me, comment mirror in this post for the event. Love to hear from you. Or just send a message. I'm always open to a chat, a good conversation, any of that. All right, so it's past, and this is the time I like to open it up. If anybody's willing to come up and share what was the big aha moment today. I put the link in the show notes, or in the, not the show notes, in the comments. And real quickly, I'll go ahead and add it here. I told you I wasn't as well prepared as I would have liked. But either way, I thank you for being here. If you're watching on the replay, comment something like #replay or #team replay, so I know you were here. Comment with what you got out of the teaching, anything like that. Together we can all rise, right? I'm a firm believer in the concept of a rising tide lifts all the boats, right? And when we can empower each other, we are better together. And we can share wisdom, and we all have our own experiences. All right, I'm going to see, because I created a new song since I don't have anybody chomping at the bit to come up on stage. And again, like I always say, audio only is fine. You don't have to be on video. I like to be on video. I'm cool with that. My personality is entertainer, so my Myers-Briggs is entertainer. So I love this stuff. Doesn't mean I don't feel nerves. I do, but I just love it. So I can surpass it, or I can face it more easily. Apparently I haven't downloaded it, so I can't share that. Oh well. Yes, and I learned something meeting Lei, that I learned to say, I thought I knew California pretty well, but I learned about a small town city in the mountains called Coarse Gold. Never heard of it. Lived in California over 40 years. Been all around it. I used to love going to Yosemite. Driven up and down Highway 1, Highway 5. I've crossed that state inside, outside, upside down. I even crossed through towns like Weed, California, and other crazy names. Because I loved, I was a true American. Loved the road trip. I know how I can get the song. Let's see. And feel free, the 3 people that are here according to LinkedIn. I don't know if anybody's watching on YouTube. Looks like I've got 1 person over on YouTube. Would love to hear from you. All right, so I can screen share. Hopefully this works. Please, anyone, let me know that you are hearing it when I play it.
In the shadow of a mirror, where the past holds tight, he walks in with fire, igniting the night. a truth seeker's vision. He shines through the black. Every step forward, he won't look back. Telling tales of struggle, the masks we wear. We're bound by the labels, lost in the snare. Time to break free from those chains of doubt. With his voice like thunder, he calls us out. This is the awakening. The rebels arise. Feel the storm within you. It's time to defy. We're breaking the silence, tearing the walls. With the identity disruptor, we answer the call. No more hiding in shadows. We step into light. We rebuild ourselves, empowering the fight. From the ashes of heartache, he crafts a new name. No longer a victim, we reclaim our flame. He shows us the beauty in every scar, reminds us of strength that's never too far. With the chaos of doubt trying to hold us back, we find our resilience, ready to attack. In the wreckage of who we've been led to believe, we rise from the ruins, ready to achieve. This is the awakening. The rebels arise. Feel the storm within you. It's time to defy. We're breaking the silence, tearing the walls. With the identity disruptor, we answer the call. No more hiding in shadows. We step into light. We rebuild ourselves. Oh, let the wind carry out the doubts of yesterday. As the sun breaks the clouds, showing us the way. Together we'll journey through the valleys of pain. With a strength in our hearts, everything to gain. Remember the essence of who you are meant to be. Awakening hope, setting our spirits free. So let's shatter the ceilings of what we've been told. With the courage he's given, we break from the mold. We'll dance with the storms and sing in the rain. Each drop a reminder, we're never in vain. In this anthem of boldness, we'll raise up our voice. Empowered together, you'll find it's your choice. The freedom we seek is within our embrace. With the identity disruptor, we'll take our place. In the glow of a sunset, a new chapter begins. With every new heartbeat, our true life begins. So stand up, be bold. In this journey we trust. With the identity disruptor, reclaiming what's just.
just told me I'm still muted. Hope you enjoyed that, and I look forward to publishing it on YouTube, but I want to do a little formatting. Leslie, welcome. Glad you could make it, even though I've wrapped up with the teaching. I've really got to work on my timing because I tend to blow through it too fast. But I'm grateful to each and every one of you that join. Grateful to you, Leslie, for having me on Mind Over Matter and all you teach and share and give to the community. And introductions, meeting Lay. I still got to get to know her better, but day by day. Love you guys. Thank you for your time, carving time out of your day. I know everybody's busy. We've got our commitments, our things we're working on. So joining I totally understand, Leslie. My wife tried to make me food and she's like, it's ready. And then she looks at the clock. She's like, oh, it's time for your event. So she tried. Yeah, Mondays, I've got to look at my schedule because it's been tight lately. But make it work. Because there's a message I want to share. I want to empower people to rise up and be what they're meant to be, what they want to be, not what they were taught or learned to be. Like, and to live from purpose, live aligned with our values, and have the life that we desire, that you desire, whatever that looks like, right? Success is a personal decision. What it looks like for me doesn't have to be what it looks like for you. Being a father, being a husband with going on 34 years, that's very fulfilling. And having people to share with online. My son singing. Anyway, thank you, everyone. Have a great week. We'll see you around. We'll see you out there on the interwebs, as we used to say back in the 90s. Take care. Love you. You're appreciated.